Unit 4, Recording 3. Astronaut.
Back in the 1960s, you weren't allowed to become an astronaut without a pilot's license and a background in engineering. You also had to be shorter than 1 meter 80 centimeters in order to fit in the Mercury space capsule. These days, you don't have to have a pilot's license, although it's handy if you do, but you must have a degree in science, engineering, or mathematics, and 3 years postgraduate experience. That means a strong background in one of those disciplines. In terms of character, you mustn't be a loner or a wannabe hero. It's all about being a team player who doesn't take risks. And of course, you have to be able to cope with zero gravity. It takes 3 or 4 days to get used to that when you first go into space.
Journalist.
In the past, you typed your stories up on paper and faxed them in, or even dropped them on someone's desk. Back then, you didn't need to know how to live tweet a story, and there was no internet to check your facts. You had to get up off your chair and knock on doors. These days, it's all different. You're expected to be social media savvy, but you're not normally required to have a university degree unless it's a specialist subject you want to report on. Some things are still the same. It helps to have a driving licence, and it helps to be fluent in at least one foreign language. But in terms of character, you need to be willing to question everything, and you can't be too bothered about having free time. If a story breaks, you drop everything to be there, evenings, weekends, even nights if necessary.
Video game designer.
This job, it's a relatively new profession. But the older game designers in the business, the ones who've been doing it for a while, they didn't have to have any qualifications. They just had to be able to code, And they had to have a passion for gaming, which is still the case today. But the job is evolving really fast. These days, a really big game costs more to make than a Hollywood movie. So there are definitely job opportunities, but you have to have qualifications and strong problem-solving skills. Designing games is really about solving problems. Plenty of universities offer a degree in game design, and it helps if you have that. And you've got to be able to use the software packages, of course. But the really successful game designers, they just have something else. I guess you could call it a flair for visual storytelling.